There's a number of different parts of the year in different places. Sometimes I'm in Britain, in England, sometimes I'm in Europe, sometimes I'm in Africa, and increasingly I'm in America. I'm actually shooting this video now from London in the UK, but in a couple of months I'll be moving out to Irvine in California, and that's the reason I wanted to shoot this video. I wanted to bring to your attention a lawyer who doesn't come up immediately when you search on, Bing, Google, Yahoo, the big search engines. But he's absolutely outstanding, and something my American friends have told me is that when you do move to, not particularly Irvine, but anywhere in America, make sure you have a lawyer, because it's something that you don't necessarily ever think or hope you're going to need. But invariably there will be situations that come up where you do need one, and it's best to have one on call rather than have to kind of scuttle around and try and find one at the last minute. So having done my research before I moved to California, I found this guy, William Weinberg. Now here's his website here. I have to say, I've never spoken to William, and I'm not affiliated to his law firm or to him in any way, but he is the guy I'm going to phone before anybody else, and I'll explain why I know that in a moment. But basically, here's his website. Very simple, very open. What I like about what he does is he's a specialist in areas where you're most likely to have issues day to day. So, personally I don't drink and drive, but you never know, you could be in that situation, or accused even of being in that situation. So, that could be something that could come up. Criminal defence as well, potentially you could have a situation where you're accused of having done something that has a sense of criminality to it. And it could be completely wrong, but nonetheless you could need legal representation to be able to make the process as painless as possible. So as I said, here's his website. This is the DUI element of his website. He does do more than just DUI, but Orange County DUI lawyer, lots of kind of information. What I really like about this website is there's a direct email going into him personally, as well as his personal phone, personal fax, so you can get in contact really easily if you need to. That's often the sign of a really good attorney, as opposed to just an average one who, might get back to you if you're important enough. So that's a big plus. Looking at his website further, you can see there's lots of information. Again, this is something which a lot of lawyers don't necessarily provide, but he has, and it's really, really useful. Background about the the drinking and driving legislation within California, so basic laws, the implications of getting that wrong, DUI checkpoints, so various different kind of things that are relevant in terms of former laws, and what to do if you do get caught or accused of driving under the influence. And again, there's all of these extra resources here, each going to individual pages, individual sections. So it's really, really information packed. Again, normally a sign of a really good site. Now, that's what he has to say about himself, and his website, social media is all up to date. But let's look at what other people say about his 22 years of experience. Another very good sign. There are 3 sites I want to kind of look over with you. And again, this is how I know that it's him I'm going to phone and not somebody else. His reviews from external sources are exceptional, and I mean exceptional. Here is Yelp. Again, just to confirm, this is the right guy. This is William Weinberg, attorney at law, based in Irvine. And don't worry about these here. These are kind of external groups. These are the ones here we need to worry about. And he just has review after review after review, which is outstanding and just jam-packed with praise after praise after praise about what he's done. And it ranges from the very initial early stages, like this one from Steve H., who's actually based in Irvine. I had a legal question and I found William Weinberg online. I called him on a Saturday. So on a Saturday, within about 10 minutes, he called me back and was very knowledgeable and friendly. Again, this is without even him being a client at this stage. Just shows how kind of impressive this particular attorney is. Next person, Gabe B. from Lake Forest, United States. I have to confess, I don't know where Lake Forest is and I haven't been there. But nonetheless, this is another outstanding review. He's a family lawyer, so he's actually involved in the wider criminal defence type situations rather than just drinking and driving, but very successful for this family, and he is now this particular family's go-to lawyer. There are many others, but here's just an insight. Let's look at a different review site, Avo, which is one of the legal profession's leading review sites, and let's look at what they have to say. I'm not going to read all of these out because you'll get the point really quickly. Quite an amusing one here from Pat. Could this be Clark Kent? So Superman without the uniform. Take a peek. So brilliant advice there. Able to be communicated to somebody who's not really involved in legalese. So that's really good. Highly recommend here. Responsive to your emails, telephone messages. Someone who knows the court system in Orange County particularly. Again, a really good review. Petition for factual innocence granted. Again, getting results. Got the job done. Self-explanatory. Needed representation for criminal case in Los Angeles. So again, his mode of representation extends beyond, literally Irving. Is much broader than that. Client review, much in the clutch. Don't bother calling anyone else. Very unequivocal. Criminal defense client. So again, all of these are 5 out of 5, and this is from one of the most impartial and market-leading legal review sites. So that tells you a lot. And we'll just look at one more. This is another site. birdeye.com, another legal review site, and again, this is the right lawyer, William Weinberg, attorney at Law Reviews. Again, the reviews are outstanding. We've got Mike Sanchez here, and these are all much more recent, March the 14th, 2015. So Bill is hands down the best criminal defense attorney in Orange County. So again, helping another family out there. Joan Herbert, May last year. I never dreamt that a member of my family would need a criminal defense attorney, but when my loved one was put in jail, I was struck with panic. Not knowing what to do, I turned to the internet. Normally pretty dangerous because there are lots of kind of underperforming professionals in any industry, including law. But she found this guy, and that worked out well as well. Pat assisted me by answering some pretty confusing questions, and I'm glad I got advice from an expert who could assess my situation on the spot and explain his rationale in a way a non-lawyer like me could understand. So again, there's this theme here of being able to kind of explain complex concepts and complex issues in a very easily digestible way. So that's good as well. We've got Ryan, Mike, an appeals client, criminal defense, JH. Okay, so that one's probably a double. A fraud client, criminal defense, Nick, a Google user. So again, all of these reviews have one thing in common. They're all 5 stars. So going back to his homepage, this is clearly the standout attorney within the Irving area, whether it be for drinking under the influence or other broader criminal defense type issues. When I get to Irving, if I have any legal issues at all, guess who I'm going to be calling first of all? That's right, it's going to be this guy. And again, just to reconfirm, I'm not affiliated with him in any way. I've never spoken to him. I don't know any of the reviewers. I don't know the law firm at all. But it's just so obvious he's the standout person in the area. He's the guy I'm going to call. Thanks for your time. Hope that's helpful. Thanks for listening.